I want to play a recent clip for you guys on an interview we did with a trucking insurance company. We asked them some questions, and some of the answers that we got, it really will surprise you, because it did definitely surprise us. So listen to this clip, and on with the show today. We got lots for you. So you're also saying that these insurance companies are really basically pulling the PSP on these guys. If these guys are getting a lot of mechanical failures, they're not, that also actually hurts these drivers to where they're not keeping up on their rigs.
Exactly, totally, yeah.
Wow.
You have to be up on safety. That's one of the most important things, especially when crossing those state lines. Then you get pulled into an inspection. It could be something as small as your tire thread is not right, or your windshield wipers are not working, and that goes on your record as a negative. And some insurance companies might cancel you for that. Others might not pick you up at renewal. So it's important to have everything up to date.
See, and that's really good information for these guys out there, especially. Me truck driver. All right, so I just got a message on the Facebook page from a listener that's been listening for 5 years, or November of 2015 is when we started. So yeah, 5 years. We're
happy anniversary.
Dude, I just realized this is our fifth year. Just
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Isn't that pretty super cool?
It is.
Okay, so getting past that ego trip, the listener sent us a message on the Facebook page. Longtime listener, really love you guys a lot, And he said, but I'm wondering what happened to Tyler. And he went in, basically he was asking about the old cast, because when we first started, first off, you weren't around.
No, I wasn't. Well, I was around. I just wasn't on.
Yeah, you were not in the scene.
I was in the background.
Right. And so Tyler and Diesel, right? Mm-hmm. Diesel Dave and Rich. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think there was somebody else. Wasn't there? There was another cast member.
Well, I think it was Cody came in a few times.
Oh yeah, Cody.
But
Cody came later.
You had is it
And they're all drivers. Every one of those guys were drivers. But anyway, so he asked me about what happened to Tyler and everybody, and I told him Tyler's actually very busy. Tyler's more of a high tech person. Mm-hmm. He's a good talker.
He's not moved behind the scenes. I came forward, he went back.
Yeah, Tyler's not really interested in, this is basically with him. Diesel, and I had told him, Diesel, for all you people that remember Diesel was awesome to have on, mm-hmm. and he had that deep radio voice. But anyways, Diesel, he
he's from cigarette smoking.
Well, yeah, and Diesel was a chain smoker, but he also had, remember a few years ago, the reason he actually had left the show, one day, he was like always tired, and one day he went in to see his doctor, and they almost immediately threw him on the slab and cracked his chest and did like a triple bypass or something. Right. He was, so it took, whatever time to recover, and at that point, I guess he did some soul searching and really didn't want to have a schedule being on. I think he actually had a little bit, he had some other health problems, but mm-hmm. but Diesel today is, we're in touch with Diesel a lot. Diesel and I talk.
Yeah, pretty much weekly. We say hi at least.
Yeah, and sometimes daily Diesel and I talk. Diesel is actually doing quite well, mm-hmm. for all you people. Diesel's 75, and
he has grandchildren and people, he has family that he's trying to spend time with.
Right. You're talking about, I know Diesel drove truck in like the 60s and 70s or something like that. He's like ancient, spring break, cab over, old trucker type of guy. And he I know he would come back on the show here and there for us, but we're never going to get Diesel to be on a schedule. When you're 75 and have grandchildren and you drove a truck for a living, you have the attitude of, I'm retired now, and nobody's gonna. I don't have a scheduled delivery. I'm done with schedules.
Maybe I'll ask him to come do a guest appearance for everybody.
Yeah, we'll try to get Diesel on the show. Maybe maybe this year yet. We'll try to get Diesel on
before the end of the year.
And then there's Rich. Rich had a lot of health issues, and that's what really Rich absolutely
Did he break his back or something?
Oh, man,
Something happened to his back.
Yeah, something with his back, something else. And Rich was literally laid up for like a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so Rich he had more of his life, you know what I mean? And trying, I don't want to say trying to survive, but.
Because he's not old. He's younger.
Yeah, Rich is only like maybe late 50s.
Yeah.
So, you know, he went through that. And that's tough because, you know, a man in his 50s is really at what they call his peak. You know what I mean? He's experienced.
It's because he's going up that hill and he's just about to go down it.
Right. Well, it's the truth, you know, and when you're in your 50s, that's supposed to be like your peak where you're wiser, you're working good, you're seeing retirement, Lord willing, ahead of you. You're just starting to have grandchildren and you're not trying to kill yourself and work your brains off like a 20-year-old guy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little different in your 50s. But he had when life meets you with some health issues, that's what happened. So that's what happened to Rich. That's what happened to Diesel. And that's what happened to Tyler. Cody comes on now and then.
Yeah, Cody's in touch with us a lot.
Yeah, Cody's a young guy and he's out trucking and doing his thing. You know, Cody's full of life and he's anytime we've told Cody he can come back on.
Oh yeah.
And then we've had a couple other drivers that have come on here and there.
Yeah, and then the only one that we have not mentioned yet is, you know,
who?
Acid.
Oh, Johnny Acid. And actually we have people that ask about Johnny Acid. They love him.
It's the only one that you haven't mentioned yet.
And Johnny Acid, you know, he's gone through a lot of not health issues, but other issues, you know, to where he had to relocate into a different state. And not that, you know, anybody's after. And actually, Johnny Acid, we had killed him off the show, if you remember. We buried him in the backyard. Yeah.
That was enjoyable.
I don't know if anybody actually believed that we found him, you know, dead with like a hypodermic needle in his arm, you know, with a couple of hookers or lot lizards.
Yeah.
And so we kind of helped kill him and buried him in the backyard. Remember that story?
I don't remember it. I just enjoyed the peak
you
of
enjoyed the ending. You enjoyed the ending of it.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so Johnny's back. He's back to life.
He never died. I just had a dream of burying him.
That was actually more like Ruth Ann's dream, and so Johnny actually has expressed his desire to come back on the show quite a bit, and so we may get Johnny back on here and there. Who knows? You know, if Ruth Ann doesn't actually kill him. But anyways. That's realistically...
There's the update on the past cast.
There's the update on the past cast. And Theo, a man named Theo that wrote in, super guy, really nice guy. He does short haul. Not sure where he's at, but thanks for that email, Theo, and giving us the idea, actually putting the idea in my head of maybe getting the cast back. I'd love to get the whole cast back together for like an episode or two, like kind of a reunion.
The problem is when you have so many people on it, they talk over each other. You and I, because we're sitting here looking at each other, it's easier. So, you know, we still step on each other, but when we pull anybody else in, especially on the phone interviews or anything, it's very difficult not to walk on each other. And, you know, if you ever hear a podcast that's what's happening, it's not enjoyable.
Yes, and obviously when someone walks over me, I'm the most important guy on the show. I, get offended. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, we would love to have the crew back on. We love the crew. They're awesome. And, they were part of the show. I mean, everybody that used to write in loved them also. And we truly, and they truly, really did enjoy it. But like I said, some of them just really had some things happen to where they really couldn't be on. But we're going to get them back on somehow, some way. Maybe a Christmas special. So anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
Hey drivers, have you thought about becoming your own company? Have you thought you'd like to get your own authority and DOT number, but you just don't know how to go about doing it? Well, call J.J. Keller and Associates. They can help you get the proper registration and credentials that you need to operate legally. They protect drivers from penalties and out of service orders as a result of not having the proper authority. They save drivers time by filing their paperwork and ensuring everything is correct. Drivers, they also help you with unified carrier registration, US DOT and MC numbers, MCS 150 updates, year-around authority monitoring, and plenty more. Drivers, if you're looking to become your own company and you want your own authority number and DOT number today, call J.J. Keller and Associates at 888-601-2017. That's 888-601-2017. 2017 and tell them Talk CDL sent you. Thank you. Moving on, I wanted to bring on one of our sponsors, and I want to talk to him about this trucker insurance and stuff. It's a company called
Rev Insurance.
Rev Insurance. I want to bring them on just for a few minutes, and Gino is going to be with us. If you would just go ahead and dial Gino's number.
Thank you for calling Rev Insurance. This call may be recorded for training and quality assurance.
Insurance services.
Yes, may I speak with Gino?
This is him.
Hi, Gino. This is Ruth Ann with Talk CDL. How are you?
Hey, Ruth Ann, I'm doing well. And yourself?
We're doing well, thank you. I have Troy here, and we are
Yeah, hi, Gino. How you doing? This is Troy.
Hey, bud, I'm good. Yourself?
Good, man. We're just doing our thing. So you are Gino with Rev Insurance. And we actually, Gino, we're glad that you're coming on the show today because we wanted to kind of get some things out in the open for the industry and Rev, because one of your policies is you're an insurance company that only works with truckers, correct? You do nothing else.
That is all. It's all we work with is truckers. Anything trucking, we're in.
So I got a question just to get us started, and you may want to say a few things, but I got a question for you. What all insurances exactly do you offer truck drivers? Each one, give me a list of the actual insurances, the policies.
Yeah. Oh, anything from the auto liability to general liability to cargo to workers' comp. So pretty much anything insurance, trucking insurance related, we do offer. And the trailer interchange, physical damage, everything and anything. So everything to keep a trucker on the road, to keep working, have his filings up with the DOT, and to meet all standards.
And Gino, I got a question because, I have a lot of friends that are owner-operators, and some of them are literally major complaining right now because their insurance rates have gone through the roof. Down here in Florida, some of these guys are actually forced to sell their truck and go work for somebody because of the high amount of insurance that they're paying. How can these guys get around these new jacked up bills that's hurting some of these guys?
They need to call me.
Okay, well, I like that answer. So you're the guy that can get these guys.
They need to call me, man. We have access to pretty much, I would say, most carriers in the United States. And if one carrier has their rates up, we can work with them and lower their premiums. There are many carriers to choose from, many different programs. So unfortunately, because of COVID, a lot of carriers kind of stepped back or raised their rates, but there are many that actually are taking advantage of it, and they've lowered their rates, and just not too many agents have access to them. We happen to be one of the agents that does.
So, and as we're going, I want to throw your number out there. Read us the phone number to call you direct, Gino, or to call your company direct.
My direct number is 1-800-347-5373.
Oh.
That rings directly to my desk. And, I'm a vice president of operations here, and I kind of work trucker hours. So that phone number is transferred to my cell phone. If I'm up, I'm picking up.
Okay,
That's my thing.
So really the bottom line with these guys are, even if you're happy with your insurance rates right now, it doesn't, I was actually told a long time ago, Gino, if you're paying, like, for example, Ruth Ann and I, we're one of those people that we probably stick with people too long. Like, for example, our insurance company, how long we've been with them, Ruth Ann? For our
about 24 years.
Exactly. So we've never went and shopped rates, but and I've been told.
Oh wait, I have shopped rates. I can't seem to get them any lower than what we actually have.
So we actually have a pretty decent deal. But what I'm getting at is, for the truck drivers out there, if your premium's gone up, or even if you are an owner operator and you feel that you're happy with it, it doesn't hurt to call you, right, Gino, and say, to where you could say, look, man, let me show you what I can do for you and save you. Who knows how much you could save them.
I mean, why pay more if you don't have to? You just got to, truck drivers are busy people. Then they return to their families on the weekends and they want to spend time with them. But they really need to invest 15, 20 minutes and do that shopping around and do call a few people to get better quotes. Because, again, why pay more if you don't have to? There's a lot out there that can save you.
So, Gino, what are the tickets, the moving violations that really, truly, what are the main ones that truly hurt a truck driver when they go to get insurance?
Well, an at-fault accident would be the main one. Speeding, open containers in vehicles. I've had people call me that when they went through the inspection, they had drugs in the truck, they had open containers, and with a lot of hard work, I was still able to place these guys. So, but I would say those are the main ones, and violations as far as safety violations on the trucks. Because when they go through that inspection and their truck gets inspected, every single violation gets logged on their DOT and DOT report, and that's like their credit. So I would advise everybody to have a truck that's kept up and, just be careful on the road.
What about a handheld device? Does that hurt them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cell phone ticket, yeah.
Many accidents are happening because of handheld devices. So it doesn't count as a moving violation with most carriers, but it does if, you're on your phone and you get into an accident, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also saying that these insurance companies are really basically pulling the PSP on these guys. If these guys are getting a lot of mechanical failures, they're not, that also actually hurts these drivers to where they're not keeping up on their rigs.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah.
Wow.
You have to be up on safety. That's one of the most important things, especially when crossing those state lines. Is then you get pulled into an inspection. It could be something as small as your tire thread is not right, or your windshield wipers are not working, and that goes on your record as a negative. And some insurance companies might cancel you for that. Others might not pick you up at renewal. So it's important to have everything up to date.
See, and that's really good information for these guys out there, especially, actually, like I said, I know quite a bit of owner-operators that actually are trying to build a fleet right now. They have 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks. And, I've talked to some of their drivers, and some of their drivers are like, well, he doesn't, I've yelled at him with the tires, he needs to have better tires, or, we got a lot of breakdowns. And that's a good message to owner operators out there that if you want to, because believe me, it sounds to me like a good rate versus a bad rate is extremely different on each end.
You're 100% right. A lot of the guys that have been in the business for a few years, they're pretty good about safety. It's mostly the new ventures that are just getting in the business, and they're not up to date on all the standards of what needs to happen. Those are the guys with the most safety violations. And, with our clients, I try to teach them as much as I can and tell them all the right things to do so they don't get into a situation like that.
What would your best advice be for a driver that just started? Say I just got my brand new tractor this month and I'm about to go start driving it. What would you tell me to do and maintain to keep a good rating?
The number one thing to do is to have all the right coverages, because with no surprises. So, meaning I'm hearing a lot of agents just selling policies, and then people get surprises where they need to add on more coverage to meet criteria or so. Number one thing is, for a new venture, they're already putting out a lot of money, is to start working and start making money and not have any surprises. So you got to have the right coverage at the right price. So coverage is the number one thing.
So, Gino, when a driver calls you for insurance, okay, so you're diligently, literally seeking the cheapest but best coverage at the same time for these guys to get them off and running. Is that what you're all about?
Yeah. So the way it works is, I deal with a lot of new ventures, and when they call, depending on a state they're in, if in that state there's only, let's say, 6 carriers that accept new drivers, I will quote that with all 6 carriers. That way we know that they're getting the best rate, and I can pass it on to them. And so, yeah, that's how it works.
So go back to you had mentioned at fault accidents and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do they, like, for example, view a rollover different than say where they maybe they're making a right turn accident and they catch a car's and take a car's hood off? Do they look at more of the amount of damage that they're having to pay out, or how does the insurance company look at accidents?
It's based on more of how much the payout was.
Okay, so if it's a total, millions of dollars,
if it's
that's
a total loss, and it's say $250,000 compared to a $50,000 accident, you have much better chances of getting a better policy at a better price with the $50,000 loss.
Okay. And then now, as far as insurance goes, when you're out there running this, say a truck that's say a 2010 versus a truck that's 2021 for say, and I don't need a quote, but how much of a difference would the monthly payment be, or the premium itself? How much would the difference be?
Well, if you are a new venture or maybe the first few years in the business, liability-wise, there's not much difference. The difference comes in the physical damage coverage, where you're actually covering the truck for a certain amount. So if you have an old 2010 that's worth $20,000 compared to, a 2020, which is worth $60,000, I would say difference in pricing would be probably around $5,000 or $6,000 a year.
That's a pretty good difference.
The physical damage. Yeah, liability-wise, the $1 million in coverage is pretty much going to cost you the same.
So, okay, and now you have nothing to do with like the appraisers, the guys that come out to look at the damage and all that other good stuff. You have nothing to do with that.
I don't. No, I don't. I just help the guys set up their insurance. I'm pretty much. We do a lot. I personally do a lot more than insurance. I help the guys set up their DOT if needed. I'm myself a member of at least about 28 different trucking groups, social media and outside of social media. So when I sell a policy to someone, it doesn't stop there. If they need to hire drivers, if they need to buy more trucks, if they need to anything that they need help with, I help them out by posting, and I get 20, 30, 40 replies and forward it over to the guy. If they're not finding loads, I help them find loads. I have connections on that. So my thing is, like, if you don't take care of your client, someone else will, and I like to think that I am that someone else.
Right.
So how long has Rev been in business?
17 years.
Wow.
17 years. Wow. We Talk CDL this is our anniversary month right now. We're at 5 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
5 years on the podcast.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's
That's
funny.
Awesome.
We 5 years ago, when we did our first show, I probably thought that was our last show, and here we are 5 years
awesome.
later.
I've been hearing some good stuff about you guys.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. Trust me, if you keep listening, you'll find some bad out there too.
Oh, you can't make everybody happy.
No.
And Ruth Ann, she makes a lot of people mad. So
that's hard to believe. She's a sweetheart.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit more about Rev. I love the fact. Truthfully, when Ruth Ann first, because you guys are on our commercials, when she first read that, because they only deal with truckers, I thought that is like awesome. It's like you have absolutely zero to do with, like, if somebody called you and they want to get car insurance, that's not you. You refer them somewhere else.
That's definitely not me.
We are strictly truckers, man. In fact, that's what Talk CDL does. We don't talk about nothing but trucking in the industry. And and when I find somebody that really is busy enough to where, hey, this is all we're going to do. This is our niche, trucking. Were you a truck driver yourself, Gino, at one time or not?
No, I wasn't. I've always been in insurance.
Yeah, well,
I love dealing with truckers, because more than anything, they're family people, and I can relate to that, and I like dealing with them.
That's true. Usually a truck driver is out there working hard for his family. He don't go out there to work hard just for himself usually. Yeah. It's always to deal with the family.
Definitely. And my main thing is service. I like to help people. It's never about the money here. It's about people. If I can help you out, I promise you I will.
Well, see, that's an awesome motto to stand behind, because one of the things I tell people in life is if you're in a business for the money, most of the time you're going to fail. If you're in the business because you like the business and you're wanting to be the best at that and you look for success, money follows success. But you got to have the love of what you're doing first. And if you don't have that love, then you're probably not going to be doing pretty good. So if you've been doing it for 17 years, you guys must really like what you're doing.
Yeah, we've helped a lot of people, and we love it.
All right. Well, Gino, do you have anything else you'd like to say? Hey, give us that phone number again to be able to get a hold of you guys. Because, again, I'm just going to implore every truck driver that has a rig, pick up the phone. Even if you think, yeah, man, my rates are unbeatable, call Gino, man. It sounds like he'll work his tail off to try to get you a better rate and maybe even better coverage. Gino, what's that number?
It's 800-347-5373. That's directly to me.
Thank you, Gino. But we'll let you go, get on with the rest of your day helping drivers, and we do appreciate you taking the time out to speak with us today.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Gino. You're awesome, brother. All right.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. I really was curious about a lot of things, but you know what I didn't realize? I didn't realize that insurance companies actually, you know how like trucking companies, when they're hiring a truck driver, if they see a guy that's driven, like say for an owner operator, and they have a lot of inspection fails and out of service, all that other crap, a lot of trucking companies are like, this guy don't give a shit. I'm sorry, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to hire this guy because he doesn't care. I mean, I've heard trucking companies tell us that.
Right. No, we'd have.
Right. And so I didn't know, though, that insurance companies are saying the same exact thing. They're going, hey, man, we're not going to insure somebody that he's constantly getting violation after violation after violation. Even, and you see, at one time, they would find the trucking company and more go after the trucking company. But in the CSA 2010, they actually changed that to where now the truck driver's more responsibility for what he's driving. So you can't, as a truck driver, you can't work for some crappy company and go, hey, man, it ain't my fault. He don't want to do this. What DOT is saying, yes, it is your fault. We are now going to tag your ass, and your safety record's going to go bad. And then you can stand on the rooftops or stand on your damn Peterbilt and yell to the top of the world and go, it ain't my fault, it ain't my fault. But guess what? It according to DOT, CSA, and the PSP, it is now going to be your fault. So look at, even the insurance companies just said, hey, this is where you guys get penalized. And when you're going to get hired at a new job, if you're not standing up to your trucking company that has really bad equipment and saying, dude, I am not going to ruin my record for you, if you're not willing to do that, then your record's going to get ruined the more you get bad inspections. Just the bottom line, Ruthann.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're trying to get rid of these companies that are jeopardizing drivers and the people around them. When you're driving bad equipment, what's happening is, if it's your brakes aren't working, you're a running time bomb on something that's going to happen seriously to you, doing some damage to someone else, whether it be an accident or some form of a breakdown that really hurts you as a driver, because then you're not moving, you're not making money. So there's so many things that could be happening to you.
Okay, and I want to just kind of put it all in perspective for 1 second.
Go ahead.
This is the way DOT really started saying, let's think about this in the real world. Mm-hmm. See, like I said, a lot of drivers say, oh, well, hey, man, it's not my fault the guy doesn't want to take care of his equipment. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. But here's what DOT is. This is the way they're looking at it. When you start that truck up, before you start that truck up to drive it, what are you supposed to do?
Pre-trip.
You're supposed to do a pre-trip. And when you know your brakes are bad, or you know those tires are bad, when you put it in gear,
you're taking responsibility.
You now are just saying, I'm willing to drive this piece of garbage, okay? And I understand drivers that are desperate need a job. I get that. But at the same time, when you put that truck in gear and then you pull into a weigh station, they're not thinking of the trucking company anymore. They're thinking about the guy that had the audacity to take an unsafe rig or a truck that's really not up to DOT standards and get out on the road and put the public in danger. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, that's the way they're looking at it. Even brake lights that are out, it's a danger to the public. That's the reason why there's brake lights on a truck. It's to warn warn the guy behind you that you're stopping. And if those brake lights are out, guess what? Some guy might rear end you. Either way, when you put that thing in gear, it's no longer the trucking company that isn't taking care of his truck's fault. It is now your fault.
Exactly.
And that's why, and I'd never realized, I thought that was great information.
It was. I thought it was great too.
Yeah, I was really amazed that because I never thought of that they're actually also looking for that. So anyways, that is that with insurance questions. I kind of liked the way that went. It was a nice interview. Awesome thought line, bringing back the gang for maybe a Christmas special, huh? Diesel and Johnny Acid.
You might have to do it in 2 shows though, because when you have people that like to talk all in one group, it's a jumbled mess. We might have to do it in a few segments to do it together.
Yeah, because Rich really liked to talk a lot, and so did Diesel, and I kind of talk a lot too. So you're right. And Acid, believe it or not, Acid would just make his little comments and then just sit in the corner.
He wasn't that bad with that part of it.
He wasn't.
But then you have Tyler, who likes to talk.
Tyler can rattle on, and Tyler. Sometimes,
if you get him on his subject, forget it.
I'll be like following Tyler. I'm like, Tyler, where are you at now? I mean, where are you going, brother? You went off trucking. You're like in Alaska doing some fishing or something. I don't even know. But anyways, you have the word of the day. Let's move on, and you have the word of the day. Yay! From who?
From Word Genius.
Word Genius, guys and gals. If you're looking to get the word of the day every day, they send it to you every day, right?
Every day I get one.
And it's free, right?
It's free.
Don't cost anything.
Nope.
So do you have an app, or you just signed up for it on their website?
I signed up for it on their website. And
is it just wordgenius.com?
Mm-hmm. Wordgenius.com.
Okay, it's not .net. It's just wordgenius.com. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so
and then they send other stuff too. Like they'll send like cinnamons and antimons, and then they'll like do a little I don't know, like little games to where which word means this, and I'll look at it and go, move to the folder.
Okay. Yeah, but what I like though is the word of the day, because if you're looking to extend your vocabulary, you may get a word that's really kind of cute and funny that you can use that day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think if you get a word of the day and you just kind of use it each day, like semiocophobia. See, I remember it's like kind of weird. That's the word I remember out of everything. But anyways, if you get a word and you use it, you kind of expanding your horizons, guys and gals. And listen, truck drivers aren't just guys and gals that bang gears. Some of these guys are actually pretty damn smart, Ruthann. There's professors that drive trucks. There's ex-doctors and ex-lawyers. There's guys that said, screw this damn penny loafing, tie-wearing job. I'm going out there and getting in a rig and I'm going down the road. I'm telling you, I've met plenty of these guys that were, guys that love to learn. They're driving a track trailer. Just because we drive a truck doesn't mean we're as dumb as the damn truck.
That's
right?
true. That's true. Not all drivers are stupid.
So Ruthann is about to give you. Do you have it ready, Ruthann? Here, I'm going to turn it up if you're ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, crank it. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh.
Irenic.
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 I'm going to lift my...
One more time.
Irenic.
Spell it.
Irenic, but in the little pronunciation, the I is A-Y-E. Irenic.
Yeah, it sounded like they were saying Arenic.
Irenic.
So it's I, but it's pronounced A-R-E, Arenic. So Arenic, man, I got to be honest with you. I have zero thought line on Irenic. Arenic. What's the definition?
Aiming or aimed at peace.
Really?
I thought it was a good time.
That's pretty super cool.
Yeah.
So Irenic, give it to us in a sentence.
A sentence. I try to read Irenic poetry before bed because it helps me sleep better.
So I tried to read poems that are aimed more for peace.
Right.
So I say it again in the sentence. I would like that. I tried to read.
Well, I'll read the other sentence.
Go ahead.
The yoga retreat aimed to put us all in a more Irenic frame of mind.
That is super Irenic.
Irenic.
So
peace.
It's a word that aims to bring peace. Is that what it said?
Aiming or aimed at peace.
So it's a word that's aiming at peace. I love that. I super cool. Talks EDL is truly working on being Irenic.
That's true.
Yeah, but we're in the trucking industry.
You
What's
can
the is there? We got to look up the word that's opposite of arenic because we do have some non-peaceful issues in
Does
trucking.
it give me antonyms?
Okay. All right, Ruth Ann, do we have anything else? You have anything you want to mention? Anything at all?
Thank you, everybody, for wishing me a happy 50th when we were down.
Yeah, that's right. Ruth Ann is 50 years old now.
I am.
You old bat. I mean, seriously, you are an old bat now. Everybody that's like 51 going, Troy, you're an a-hole.
Yeah.
And the ones that are 60, they're like, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. So nothing meant towards you guys. We're just having a little fun with our 50-year-old little host. All right. All right, Ruth Ann, we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. Praise the Lord. Hey, drivers, are you looking for a new job or are you looking just to become a new lease driver? Well, NCI offers new Kenworth T680 double bunk condos with APU and refrigerator, all standard in all of their equipment. Come aboard and become a lease operator, or you can become a company driver. NCI offers regional positions, over-the-road positions, team positions, and also NCI will take on a few students if you've graduated from a trucking school. Pick up the phone, check out NCI, and see if they have what you're looking for at 888-311-7076. That's 888-311-7076.